Okay, this is going to be a little bit risky, but I do have the missile implant set to increase my explosion velocity, so I should be able to take this Daredevil out pretty quick. Let's go ahead and pop our stealth. We can take the Daredevil out real fast. We should be able to warp away before this fiend gets over and launches his bubble. Let's creep up a little bit just so we can get him into our disruptor range. Pop our cloak, hit our micro warp drive to make sure we keep our distance. We're going to turn on our rapid fire module here, get our damage going, and hopefully we can take this down in 1 or 2 shots. That's not a lot of damage. 514, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, the fiend is going to be closing in here, and the Voyage Core shows up on the Daredevil, so we're not going to be able to web him down. Here comes the bubble. Man, very surprising that I can't get this damage applied to this Daredevil. He might be popped a DCU. Let's see how we do as he gets a little bit closer here. Once his Voyage Core wears off, we are going to be able to web him. We'll pop our extender just to buy ourselves a little bit more time. Okay, a little bit better damage here. Now we are into his armor. Looks like his DCU wore off, but we are scrambled, double scrambled, and double webbed, so it doesn't look like we're going to be getting away. See if we can finish this guy off. Maybe we can head back towards the gate. And oh my. Capital ship pops up coming through the gate here, and we are bubbled in, double webbed. So let's see if we can take down the Daredevil before we get popped, just to get something out of this. Very surprised we weren't able to apply our missile damage, and this is going to be quite an expensive loss. Yowza. Hello pilots, and welcome back to another Eve Echoes video. As you saw in the intro here, I did lose my Enforcer. That's 17.181 billion ISK in value. Really not liking the missile build on this, so we're going to switch to a laser build, just a DPS straight out of stealth build, and we're going to see if we can catch back up on that loss. So our goal is to recover that 17.182 billion loss. See if we can even out our score a little bit, and we got a Tristan Navy issue on the other side of this gate. He is a little bit close to the gate, so he might warp through, but he is drifting off a little bit. Maybe we can grab him. Let's go real quick and see if we can pop him before he's able to get back to the gate or lock us down. The goal of this build is to break stealth, pop both of our heat sinks, double web scram, slow them down at range, and then just rapid fire them as fast as we can. So we'll wait till he gets a little bit closer here, get our double webs going. Yep, here he approaches. Let's break our cloak. Lock. We're going to activate everything. Scram, double web, rapid fire, double heat sink. Go ahead and approach so we get in that nice straight line with him slowed down. And you can see how this build just pretty much tears up any frigate-sized ship. Yep, he's not able to close the distance because we do have that double web and that scram. So real quick kill here. And so far, this has been my favorite build for the Enforcer, just coming out of cloak and just DPSing down any fragile ships, frigates, destroyers, some cruisers even. You can take them down real quick just coming out of cloak and then warp off. So after I took him out here, I activated my cloak, and we're going to creep up within looting distance. Once we get close enough, we can deactivate, scoop up his loot, and warp off. There are a lot of people in local, so I don't want to really slow boat my way to it with my cloak off. Okay, should be about in range here. Let's turn off our cloak, hit loot, and we got some decent loot, some drones that we might be able to use, and those small railguns as well. All right, let's get somewhere safe and check out that kill mail, see where we are. Not bad, 1.881 billion ISK. Just a simple build, Navy issue Tristan here. Not as inflated as it used to be, unfortunately, but we will take that kill as our first shot. Couple of systems over, we are challenged to a 1 vs 1 by Caladron, I believe it is, in his stabber sniper, and I'm not sure if he knows that I'm not in my fiend. So we're gonna go ahead and pop stealth now that we know it's all clear, and we'll see how fast we can DPS down this cruiser. I'm sure he wasn't prepared for me to come through here with my Enforcer, and you can see once we grab them with that scrambler and 2 webs, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna sit real still for us to just unload DPS, and about 4 shots take him out. Now, to be fair, we are comparing a 15 to 17 billion ISK valued ship to about a 500 million ISK ship, so that's pretty much what I should be doing to that type of a cruiser. But the goal here is to just showcase the pure DPS power you can get, very similar to a Stratios coming out of Cloak and just using that Bombard implant to unleash all hell with their drones. We're just able to do it from a little bit farther away with our Scrambler range bonuses. And we'll check out the kill mail here. Yeah, about 476, just a simple fit stabber sniper. He was a little bit more defensive fit. I'm not sure if he had his defensive mods on because we took him out so fast. But we did have that extended web range, so he wasn't going to web us down. Yeah, and he wasn't going to be able to catch up to us here, so nice kill. Roaming around here through AOS space, we got a Daredevil on this side of the gate. Not a great place to be when I'm coming through with my Enforcer. We'll lock him down real quick here. Wasn't able to get the Scrambler off, but I don't think it's going to matter because we do have him double webbed. And by the time he tries to adjust, we're going to be going in our straight line with double heat sinks and he's gone. So add it to the kill board. Let's pick up his loot and let's check out the kill mail. See about what we're running with value wise. Not too bad. Standard fit. Looks like dual prop on the low slots and snubs in the highs. So he wasn't going to be able to catch me with double webs. Okay, I've got 2 signals in this asteroid belt, so I just went ahead and warped to it. And it looks like we've got a Magnate Cover-Ops mining. Not sure what the advantage of this would be. Maybe he thinks he can sneak into null-sec and grab some ore, but it's really not worth it. This could be bait, but I'm willing to take my chances. And you see we even warped in here and we're uncloaked and he's still not warping off, so I'm not really sure what he's doing. Maybe AFK mining here. We'll creep up on him. Maybe he didn't see us when we came in. I'm just trying to do whatever I can here to pad my number, see if we can catch up to that 17 billion kill mail. So not going to be worth very much here, but we will take our shot and kind of figure out what this guy's doing. Not even sure if he's mining or if he's just circling this asteroid belt. Kind of weird. I do think if it is a bait ship and I go ahead and pop out and take him out, I should be able to take him out quick enough to where if a Astero or a Stratios pops up, I should be able to apply my damage to them and still have heat sink time open to burst them down as well. Asteros are going to be pretty fragile, and I think a Stratios I could hold range on him to where he couldn't web or scram me. So we'll pop out here, turn everything on like usual, and apply some DPS. 2 shots and he's dead. So real simple. Doesn't look like he's got any friends here to help him. We'll cloak back up, grab whatever loot he might be running. See if anybody else pops out of cloak, but I doubt it. Yeah, just take the extra pod kill. Not sure what this guy's doing. Hey, single diode miner. Not too bad of a loot. And just a simple 26 million ISK kill mail. So nothing fancy with that, just so somebody had an idea that they wanted to try out a mining magnate. So after about 4 kills here, we are just over 3 billion, and it looks like we've got a ways to go to reach our goal. Warp drive active. Okay, so something I want to go over real quick, because we are using a cloaky ship, is the new cloaking towers, or I call them decloaking towers, that can be attached to the structures of an enemy's sovereignty. Now you'll know when a system has this in place because you'll see the cloaking icon in the bottom center of your screen there. Now the first one is going to indicate that there's the cloaking tower in the system. The second one means that somebody has docked up and has activated that cloaking tower. This is something that you want to be highly aware of as a cloaking ship, because if they press that button again, you're not going to be able to cloak at all, and you're going to have a delay. So we can open up, if you click on the actual icon itself, it'll give you a detailed display of what it does. Right now we can still cloak, but if you click on it here, you can see that cloaking disruption timer at the top there. After 8 minutes and 24 seconds, you're going to decloak automatically and not be able to cloak again. Now the duration of you not being able to cloak and being in combat is going to vary depending, I think, on the level of the cloaking tower that the sovereignty holder has. You can maybe type in the comments there. If you have a full breakdown on it, I can pin the comment for others to view. But from my experience just passing through this system, I think it was about 1 minute and 58 seconds, about 2 minutes before they tapped that again. And so it wasn't the entire 8.5 minute timer. So we'll continue through here. You can see I'm cloaked up right now, but that timer is clicking down, and right there they activated it. So like I was saying, even though I had 8.5 minutes left on the cloaking disruption, they went ahead and popped that, activated it a second time, and now my cloaking is going to be nullified for 15 minutes. Not only is my cloaking nullified for 15 minutes, meaning I automatically decloak, I can't cloak up again, but I'm going to be in combat for 15 minutes as well, so I can't even go to a safe spot to log out. So whether you're flying a covert ops frigate, covert ops cruiser or something like that, you really got to be aware of the fact when somebody activates that first timer disruption, it doesn't mean that it's going to be 10 minutes before they can activate it again. They will activate it one more time if they have it upgraded appropriately. And the absolute worst part of this is even if you leave the system here, you're still going to be blocked from cloaking up again with that timer. So if there was like a gate camp on the other side of this gate right here, I wouldn't be able to cloak up with my enforcer. You can see I still can't click it, still can't activate it. I'm still going to have to wait out that timer. So the best thing to do in this situation is just to find maybe an NPC station and dock up until that timer expires, because as a covert op ship, that is like your primary defense is not being able to be seen. So again, if anybody can give me a more detailed description on maybe the upgrade levels of that structure, what it can do when you upgrade it. I don't have access to corporation structure information right now because I'm not in a corporation, but I can pin that comment in our comment section for the video and we can help other people learn how these things go. I originally thought that it would wait 10 minutes before they could activate it again, so I thought I was pretty safe for 10 minutes, but definitely not. Okay, I've waited out my timer in an NPC station and I'm now passing through Declan here. This is always a dangerous space for me to pass through. I don't know if it's my name that just fascinates everyone, but it seems like I get gate camped everywhere I go. I'm going to go ahead and ignore this Tempest sitting on the gate here. It's probably bait, and I'm going to warp off. But what my mistake was not activating my scanner and checking it out. I saw the Tempest there, so I didn't want to scan and then cloak. I just cloaked really fast and warped to the next gate. And this was this was a bad idea. Whenever you see more than 1 or 2 people in local, you got to be prepared for that massive gate camp. And there it is. So we'll see if we can land here in a good spot. We are still cloaked because we waited out our timer, and it doesn't look like anything's close enough to decloak us here. So we just got to worm our way out of the bubble. And look, thankfully, they don't realize I'm here right now. We do have that drone ship out front, but looks like the bubble moved after he activated it. So I was able to pass through a little bit into it and avoid that drone ship out front, which is actually a great strategy. If you have a drone ship like a Prophecy or Dominic's, you can sit right at the edge of that bubble, and anybody that hits it that's cloaked up is going to automatically decloak because the drones or your ship itself is going to be within 2 kilometers to decloak you. So very smart strategy, just a little bit too late on the execution there, or they would have had me, and we would have had another 17 billion ISK death mail. So rather than risk trying to squeeze in past this gate and have somebody on the other side, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of this bubble, find a safe spot, and filament out. I don't want to risk another enforcer loss. Yeah, it looks like we're pretty good here as long as we can make it out of range. Once we get outside, we can warp up while still cloaked because we have that covert ops cloaking device. Super handy. Very similar to the Arbitrator 3. That's kind of how I've been running this as an Arbitrator build. Just kind of come out of cloak and pop them as fast as I can and then recloak or run away. Looks like we're getting pretty close here to the edge. And yeah, we should be right outside of the bubble here. So let's go ahead and find a safe spot and we'll filament past this.
Warp drive active.
Okay, we filamented close to low-sec, so I'm going to pop in real quick to a couple of low-sec systems, see what we can find. And we have a mauler here. Looks like he's PvEing at one of the anomalies, so we will warp in.
Warp drive active.
Either an anomaly, might be an encounter mission, not sure. But we'll warp in cloaked and we'll see how fast we can get him. Most of these maulers are going to be those bots that run around and warp out of the system as soon as you enter. But if this guy's still here, it means he's probably a player. Not too bad of a landing spot, about 21 kilometers, 22 kilometers. We need to be within 17 for our micro warp drive, our scrambler, to lock him down. And even though Scrambler is a little bit shorter, I have been preferring it because it makes it so they cannot micro warp drive too close the distance. A little bit closer. Okay, there we go. Now we got him. Okay, not too bad. Laying in the damage here. Yeah, and he's going to drop. This looks like a newer player. So we'll add that total to our kill board, but not something I'm quite proud of. I actually don't like hunting in low-sec anymore because you either find bots or you find brand new players, and I just don't feel right picking on those new guys. This is why you'll mostly see me, yeah, very new loot here, MK5s. Now I feel bad. now I feel awful. All right, we'll head back out to null-sec after this. Let's get to a safe spot, check out the numbers. Yep, just a brand new Mauler here, 111 million. We'll add it to the total, but I'm not proud, that's for sure. Okay, I'm scanning down this new ore site that just came out. It's going to be highly valuable. And yep, we got a huge mining fleet trying to grab this new valuable ore. We'll warp in here at kind of a distance, maybe about 40-50 kilometers. See if we can pick off a coveter or two and then warp away. I don't really want to be tangling with a fleet because I don't have any reppers in my low slots. I just have a DCU. And if we run into a situation where they all happen to have, you know, long range warp disruption, I might be in kind of a pickle here to a mining fleet. But we'll come in here, see if we can get an easy kill. As you can see, there's 35 people in local, so a lot of people are doing this. Yeah, huge mining fleet here. Whoa, much more, many more ships than I thought were here. I'm going to go ahead and warp to their citadel, expecting some of these Coveter 2s to maybe fleet warp back. Maybe one or two of them will be AFK and we can pick them off right outside their base. This is usually what happens when a large mining fleet is going and one person is controlling it. They can fleet warp you back to the citadel, but they can't dock you up manually. So if anybody's AFK, not paying attention, I can pick them off before they dock up. So let's warp in here. We don't want to get too close because we don't want to come out of stealth. We'll be in here around 20 kilometers or so. Yeah, there's the citadel.
Destination
About 9 kilometers away. There's one coveter out there. It looks like he's going back there. They probably feel really safe with the amount of people that they have in local. There's a Prophecy 2. Command scene, and there's a Dominic. So there's just a lot of combat ships here protecting this fleet. Definitely something that was organized to take this out. There's the Rorqual coming back. Maybe just trying to play it safe. Doesn't look like the fleet is going to be warping back, but it might be a little bit less protected with all these players hanging around the base. So we will check out that asteroid belt one more time and see if we can sneak in a kill or two. A couple of things I need to keep in mind are the cloaking device that this system has. So if they activate that, I'm going to want to get out of here real quick. It's possible they're setting up gate camps around the borders to lock me in. And there's not any ships, any soft targets for me to target. There's a Dominic's Navy issue here, but it's going to take me way too long to burst it down. And I do not have a lot of defense to protect from a bombard burst. So just kind of hanging out around the citadel, looking for an easy target. If they do activate that cloaking device though, that cloaking jammer, I'm going to want to get out as fast as possible. With 33 players in the system, I don't want to be locked in here without being able to cloak or log out. All in all, I don't think I've seen any interdiction ships undock from this base. So it doesn't look like they're setting up a gate camp or anything. And most of the ships are just kind of hanging out and protecting the mining fleet. So I'm not too worried about my situation. It might just be a big multi-box group. And they might not even notice me in the system, honestly. A lot of times, the fact that I'm gray kind of doesn't set off any red flags. If I would be red, then definitely people would be worrying, but it's one of the advantages of being gray, being neutral to everyone. They might just think I'm passing through, and because I don't have because I'm cloaked, they're not going to know what ship I'm in. I think a lot of people assume that I'm in my Fiend still, so they should be able to see me, but because I'm in my Enforcer right now, I'm all cloaked up. Okay, got the Rorqual undocking here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and open up my my scan results, and we'll warp back to that anomaly and see if we can pick off any ships, because it doesn't look like anybody's coming back to dock up. Yeah, that was the Dominic's that I scanned down earlier. Where is it? It's one of these that I completed. That's the tower. Of course, it's the last one. There we go. There's the fleet. So let's warp in a little bit farther away, about 50 kilometers. You want to be safe. You want to be really careful that you don't warp into an asteroid within 2 kilometers, because then it'll uncloak you automatically. So we're going to have to be very careful when we come in. There's going to be a lot of objects on grid. And we'll see what ship is close and see if we can pick somebody off real quick. See me set my autopilot for the sun here. This is just for a quick warp off if I need to. All I have to do is hit that autopilot. That's usually what I'm going to do after I pop one ship. Okay, coming in here. Looks like we're pretty good. We're far enough away from the asteroids. We've got a couple of ships here. There's a Covetor 2 at 44 kilometers. But that is not the ship that I want. The one that I want is this interdictor. The absolute worst thing that could happen to me is being trapped in a bubble. So what I'm going to have to do is pop out on this interdictor and take him out before he gets his bubble off. If he's able to pop his bubble before I kill him, I'm going to be locked in with all these capital ships. And you can see we got, I think there's a Science Sea here. There's a Bane. They're probably going to tear me apart real fast. So let's get in nice and close. Approach, decloak. Let's target him. Come on, activate everything. Rapid fire, heat sinks. Let's go. Couple shots. Let's slow him down. And there we go. Let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out. Go, 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 go. Autopilot. Yep, being targeted. Being locked. Go, 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 go.
Warp drive active.
All right, we're gone. Warp Boy took a little bit longer there because the afterburner was on and I had to turn around completely, but we got our kill. Let's check out the mail. Whoa, Nelly, 6.6. And whoa, what is that?
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would.
Looks like somebody forgot to take their compilers and their metal out of their interdiction ship before they undocked. So sorry about that, but that's going to put us way higher on our kill board and a lot closer to our goal of 17 billion.
Warp drive active.
All right, we got about 8 billion left to go before we make up our loss. Let's go ahead and warp in on this APOC and see if we can take him out before any help arrives.
Warp drive active.
We are a little bit blind because it looks like my local list has disappeared. It looks like my chat has disappeared. I don't know. There we go. That was a little bit of a bug there real quick. Okay, we got 10 people in the system. Let's go ahead and warp in here, see if we can catch him. Perhaps he's AI ratting. We do have to be careful though, because we don't have a tracking disruptor, and we're going to be a little bit closer than I like to be with my Fiend. Also, we can't go super fast. Our top speed is around 1100 ms, and my Fiend is around 3000, so it's going to be a lot easier for him to track us. Yeah, a little bit too far of a warp off here too. We have to get within 17 kilometers to lock him down. So we'll creep in here. I don't want to warp off and come back because I might lose him. And with 3 ships here left, he might just go ahead and complete this and warp to another area. A lot of times these APOC strikers are just used as AI ratting, and they're just waiting to complete the anomaly to warp off to the next one. So it's actually better if I stay here and just kind of track his movements. If another wave spawns, then we can jump on him when that wave spawns and kind of hide within the enemies. And if he warps off, we'll know which anomaly he goes to. So yeah, it looks like he's taking him out real quick here. Let's creep in. 1 left. Okay, we are still out 35 kilometers off. Okay, last enemy is gone, and it doesn't look like another wave is going to be spawning, so he's probably going to warp off with that AI ratting nanocore. Ship is moving now. Let's see where he goes. Probably should zoom out here so I can see a little bit better. Okay, looks like there we go. There's the anomaly he's heading to. I think he was ratting at about 80 kilometers, so we'll come in here about 80 in case he warped in at 100. A lot of these things are set to just 100 warp in, especially with that AI nanocore. Got +1 in local. There's 11 total now. Might actually be able to get to the anomaly before he lands as well. Let's see how good of a warp in we got. And pass him up a little bit here. Not too bad. About 20 kilometers off, which is perfect. We got to be within 17. But this is perfect to go ahead and decloak, activate our afterburner, get everything going. And we're going to actually we're going to orbit this target. We want to try and disrupt his tracking as much as possible in case he comes back to his ship. It's going to reduce our DPS a little bit because we're not approaching, but because this is a larger ship, we should be able to lay in some good bursts here. I wish I had set my implant to have we're getting scanned. What I was saying is I wish I had my implant set for the higher overall DPS, but you see we cap out here at 52%. So we're not going to be able to burst him down as much as I want to. Most of the time that's just set because I'm fighting cruisers. And we are getting scanned, so they're definitely aware of our presence in this system. We'll see how fast they respond, see if we can burst this target down. We are almost into his hull. He's not locking us back. So it looks like an AI radar here. Come on, our heat sinks are off, so that's going to slow our DPS a little bit. And we are into his armor, so we're doing less damage overall. Looks like he has a little bit of tanking, a little bit of defensive resist in his low slots as well. A lot of times these ships go down a lot faster. Okay, almost into hull. Oh, he pops his laser armor enhancement. That's going to buy him a little bit of time before he gets into hull. So he is here. He's just not locking us back. That's something that's not activated by the AI nanocore. That has to be player driven. And I'm sure he doesn't have an armor extender. Okay, now he's locking us back. We got the Fiend. Okay, this looks like a trap. Let's just get the hell out of here. Not going to risk my Enforcer on this APOC. Hit our autopilot, and we'll cloak up, and we're gone. Okay. Well, we weren't able to take him out, unfortunately, but we did manage to get away and survive, so there's a bright side to every fight. Now, this is a prime example of what I like to do with this ship. Just kind of sneak in real close. Even though there's a capital ship there, we should be able to burst down this interceptor if he's holding still, and then warp away before the capital ship is able to lock us down. So we will get in here nice and close. We do want to be within scram range because we don't want him to turn on his micro warp drive to approach us. If he locks us down, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Okay, this should be good. Decloak. Let's go ahead and select him. Lock him down. Turn on our burst. Pop, pop. Atron gone. And we are being locked on by that Visaggio, so we're going to have to get the hell out of here. Drones are swarming. Oh gosh, we're getting hit. That's why I have the DCU. Okay, we're going to turn on that DCU, buy us a little bit of time, and warp off. Okay, that's why I have the DCU in the low slots, so we can still do those hit and runs. Okay, let's see what that Atron was running with. Looks like just a transport ship, and we'll add it to the total and move on for another fight. Scanning down an asteroid belt here, we'll see we got a Procurer. So a little bit disappointing. I was hoping for a Covetor 2 or an Orca because we really want to try and get our numbers up on those kill logs. We'll go ahead and warp in here and see if we can take it out real quick. It's usually going to be pretty easy to handle these ships, and it's probably just an AFK miner, but I'll take it anyway. We'll see if it has any single diode miners in the top slots. Those are usually worth about 10 million ISK each. Yep, right here at the entrance. Luckily we have a scrambler and not a disruptor, so we have those extra warp disruption points on them. We got 4 points total. That's one of the reasons why I prefer to use the scrambler also, even though it does take us a little bit closer than our optimal range. If our ship that we're fighting is not moving at all because of those double webs in the scram, then we should be able to do pretty good damage. Yep, we take them out. Let's add it to the total, see what we were working with, pick up the loot, and move on. Okay, let's warp in here real quick. Get that extra kill mark from the pod. Nobody can tell that that was a pod kill when they look at how many kill marks are on the ship. Okay, looks like just ore, so nothing good here. Nothing good from the loot. We'll check the kill mail in a safe spot. Yeah, 252, not too bad. We'll add it to the list, and this is pretty much just an AFK throwaway mining ship. Okay, I'm scanning down this anomaly here. We'll see what we end up with. Oh, we got a Science C and a Raven Navy. So the Raven Navy is probably helping him from a distance just to apply a little bit of extra DPS. And they're probably doing a capital anomaly here. So I'm going to warp in. And my idea here is to just kind of see if I can steal a couple of capital ship debris. Those are usually worth pretty good loot, anywhere from 20 to 35 million a piece. And with a cruiser, we are able to handle quite a bit of it. We can warp in from a distance, kind of grab the loot, and then warp away and cloak up. Should be pretty good. Although it is going to be risky, and I'm not sure if I want to risk my Enforcer just picking up capital debris, especially with the Science C there. We'll warp in here at 100, make sure we're pretty far off. Does look like our Science C and Raven friends are still here, so we'll go back into our scan results. And we'll warp to about 40 kilometers. I mean, it's possible that I can pick off the Raven Navy if they're not paying attention. They might be AFK. So we'll warp in here, see if we can lock them down. Oh, what is this?
Hi there!
We've got ourselves a nice juicy pacifier here sitting uncloaked, not moving. So we're going to warp. We can't really warp back to him. It's going to take a little bit too long. So we'll do the slow boat in. And we'll see if this guy cloaks up or warps off. I'm a little bit worried he's going to cloak up. We will set our autopilot to the sun just so that we can kind of nab this guy and then warp off real fast. But this is ideally how I like to fly this. Let's get in real close. Again, they probably think I'm coming in with a fiend, so they don't see me, so they think they're safe. And we will work our way in here and see if we can two-tap this pacifier. Alright, almost in range here to pop our cloak. Let's make sure that we are approaching the correct target. We want to make sure we're approaching and not orbiting because we want to be in a straight line to maintain our optimal DPS here with lasers. Okay, let's go ahead and pop our cloak and turn everything on. Scrambler, double webs, heat sinks, rapid fire module. Let's burst this guy down as fast as we can. The Science C drones are going to be pretty far away and the Raven shouldn't be able to two-shot us. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and warp off. I don't want to try and waste time
Warp drive active.
trying to pick up that loot because it is so close to those other two ships. So we'll just get to a safe spot and check out that kill mail. Ah, yes, very nice. Still overvalued the pacifier at 5.444 billion. And it does look like he was running some war core optimizers, but it didn't help him. Okay, getting real close to our final number here. Looks like we just need one more big ship. Let's go ahead and scan down this APOC striker. If we can take this guy out, then we will be ISK positive on our kill mail stats.
Warp drive active.
We'll warp in here and see if we can grab him. It might be another situation like the last APOC striker where it's an AI Ratter, and we'll see if we can burst him down. I still don't have my implant set up to max DPS because I'm just basically thinking I'm going to take things out within like 3 or 4 hits, so why set it up for that? But if I am going to be hunting down battleships, I'm going to want to readjust it. So really poor warp in here. We are 70 kilometers off, unfortunately. We can slow boat it in. I'm not really confident in my ability to warp off and warp back, but it looks like from this angle he's fighting at about 40 kilometers away from the target, so it looks like he's a closer APOC. Oh, he's going to warp off. Where's he going? Okay, he's switching anomalies. That's a little weird. Usually when they're AI ratting, they're going to wait to finish the anomaly before they switch. But we'll go ahead and track him down here. We'll warp in, see what he's running, see what he's doing. Not really sure why he warped off before finishing those enemies. But let's see if we can get a little bit of a better warp in distance this time. At least he didn't warp to the Citadel. Yep, he's still here. Okay, so that's not too bad, actually, yeah, because he's landing a little bit later. I thought he was going to be farther off, but it looks like we warped to the anomaly before him and we passed him up a little bit. So we'll work our way back. 40 kilometers, not too bad. We are going to have to slow boat it to him, though. And we got to get to around 20 kilometers. You can usually pop your cloak and start engaging around 20, because by the time they start to warp away, you're going to be at 17 anyway. so that can buy you a little bit of time. You can fit longer range disruptors if you want to fight at 26-ish kilometers. 26 kilometers is the optimal range for the medium lasers on the Enforcer, so you probably do more damage fighting at that distance as well. But because I like to run double webs for fighting cruisers and frigates with this ship, I am going to have to run with the one scrambler just to make sure we lock them down. We need those 4 points to take care of anything that might be in their gold nanocore as far as warped optimization. Okay, so we are working down in here. This looks like we're going to hit our optimal range right when he finishes this wave, so we'll wait for the next wave to pop up so we can kind of hide among the mobs of the wave. And this is a good way to kind of get them distracted. They're not going to see you because there's so many other NPCs on their overview. They're not going to see you as well starting to engage, so that should buy us enough time to where we can lock him with our scrambler before he's able to start warping away. Yeah, most likely AI ratting at this point, just taking the NPCs down one at a time. There's the wave spawning, and this looks like it's going to be a good enough distance, so let's go ahead and turn on our afterburner. We're going to hide with the mobs, and that's going to buy us our time. We're not within range of our scrambler yet, but with our orbit turned on at around 15 kilometers orbit, in case we swing out a little bit, we are able to lock him down. And we're doing some great damage. Looks like this is a little bit of a softer APOC striker than the last one we were fighting. So definitely pure ratting. Yeah, we're doing about double the damage. So he has no defense in his low slots at all. And we are tearing through his armor. Even with EM lasers, we are just tearing up his armor. Imagine if my ship had a nanocore. Imagine if I had an extra 1,000 DPS like my Fiend. Oh man. Okay, into his hull. This guy's not going anywhere. I don't think he's getting any help because there's only 3 other people in local. Yeah, let's get ready to loot. He's not even locking back, so he's definitely AI ratting. Let's just get in a nice position to scoop up the loot and warp away as soon as we can. Yeah, even within this distance, you can see our optimal is 26, but because it's a big ship, we can still hit him for full damage at this range. Okay, we'll pick up that loot and cloak up and warp off and check out that kill mail. Very nice.
Warp drive active.
And there it is, 4.326 billion is kill mail. That's going to put us over our 17 billion goal, and we have successfully reached is positive in our kills from that first loss. So again, the last 2 kills, the pacifier, the APOC striker, put us right over the edge, and we are back into positive territory, feeling a lot better about our stats after that loss. So that'll do it for this video. Hope you liked my continued Enforcer gameplay. This is kind of my ideal way of running this ship. Those quick strikes on smaller things, just hit and run kind of tactics. And you are able to take out a few of these AI ratting battleships as well. So not too bad, kind of a mid-range ship. Enjoying it is kind of a pastime as a cloaking alternative to my Fiend. And as always, if you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel for future content. I hope to hit 1,000 subscribers. We are just over 800 now, so recommend me to a friend who plays Eve Echoes. If somebody's interested in the game, go ahead and send them one of my videos and see what they think. And leave a comment down below of how you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next Eve Echoes video.